Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Nigerian Space show. If you're joining us for the first time, I don't know what took you so long, but all I say, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us every week. Last week we spoke on entitlements. I'll just introduce all our guests and then we can go into the nitty-gritty. So as usual, we have Ife, we have Chup, we have Nino, and we have Isioma as well as myself, Adiola.
Hi guys.
How's everyone
Hi.
doing?
We're
Good.
We're
good.
good.
I am good.
Good.
Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Perfect. So last week, as I said, we started off talking about this entitlement mentality amongst Nigerians, and we covered different angles. It was a real life glass boost, and the viewers really wanted more. We decided to listen to our viewers. There were a couple of angles we didn't get to cover because of time, and hopefully we'll be able to cover those angles today. So, just to remind everyone what entitlement actually means, by definition, the dictionary definition, it is the belief that one is inherently deserving, like inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. So, I'm just gonna go straight with Nino. In terms of entitlement, last week, touched on, I think we signed out with a bit of bashing the genders. So we're not going to try and do that today at all, but we just want to hear from your perspective, just as
Okay.
friends, in terms of friendship. What are the entitlement and mentalities you kind of feel from the other gender?
As a friend or as a girlfriend, let's be specific, please.
She said as friend.
As friends, not as a
As a
girlfriend.
friend, as a
Yeah,
friend,
girlfriend,
yeah.
bro.
Now is not the time to air your grievances with your
No, no,
exes
no, 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 no,
or
no, no,
nexes
no. If you
as a
want to,
friend.
let's, okay, but okay, as a friend, from the other gender, I think it basically applies with my male friends as well. If you know my girlfriend, so times I'll say no, sometimes I will oblige, and still it depends on how useful you've been to me, directly or indirectly. So that's how I'm gonna put it. For a female friend that is just my friend.
Ah, okay, don't let me.
Hmm.
I wanted to ask.
That's how I'm gonna
I know
put it.
Dino is still holding back. I know he's still holding back.
Oh, no, 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 no. See,
I
the
know
thing
he's
is
holding
to
back.
whom
He's not
wait,
ready to
listen.
unleash.
The thing is to whom much is given, much is expected, right? Aha. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So if
So
you've
much
not
is given.
given me so much, then you shouldn't expect so much. So
Hmm.
that's
Well,
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
can't you be a good Samaritan and send credit, send credit the accounts?
I mean, be a good big brother.
What happens to my audio?
We can hear you.
We can hear
Can you hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but I couldn't hear Ife though.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ife talking?
Yeah, I am.
If I say what you said again,
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear the rest of the guys. What's going on?
Huh.
it's
Thank
the
you.
network police. I can hear everybody. I can hear you fair.
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
Why can't I
Yeah.
hear everybody else?
Okay. I think
Yeah,
maybe
let's keep it
exit
moving.
and then join us back.
Yeah,
Just use the
I'll,
same
I'll,
link and join us back. That's not a
I'll,
Yeah,
worry.
try to
I'll,
log back
I'll do
in.
that.
Okay, so
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
like,
cool.
could you
So
repeat?
while it's sorting out sound issues, I guess the mentality gods are not really happy with us.
But yeah, like, could you repeat the question that you asked? You know.
Yeah, sure, sure. So it's just in terms of the kind of entitlements that come from just even friends, as yourself, maybe from the opposite gender, what kind of entitlement mentality do you kind of get from the Nigerian space? What that vibe, that mentality vibe, you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Um. Oof. Okay, Nino is back.
Yeah, I can hear everybody now. I think.
Can you
okay.
hear? Okay, he wasn't done talking. Were you done talking? No.
Yeah, I think as far as just a normal friend as a girl is concerned, it's still what applies to my male friends as well. How useful are you? You know, have you come through for me in the past? What do you bring to my table, if I'm gonna put it like that? So I think that's it for me.
Isn't that like a tit for tat kind of friendship?
Yeah. That's exactly the English. Tit for tat. Yeah. Thank you.
It's not even I did it. You say, yeah.
No, see,
Obviously.
the
Yeah,
truth, the truth, the truth,
that's
the truth, the truth
exactly.
is that the truth is that if you keep pouring out yourself and pouring out yourself and pouring out yourself for people, you're gonna empty out eventually.
Mm.
So you just sometimes you just have to reciprocate whatever energy you get, you give back. All right, or whatever energy that you give back, you expect someone to give you the same energy back. But if you keep pouring out, pour out, pour, if you keep eating and you're not getting any tax, there's nothing for you at the end of the day. So tit for tat is it's always welcome, sometimes or most
So what
times actually.
what
Okay,
task are
so you're
what task are you
petty, basically.
expecting
You're
from
petty
If
from
you
the
put it like
tip.
that.
what
Yeah,
what
so
task are
that
you
that's it for
expecting
me.
from people that are always asking for credit and I'm broke, credit my account? What task are you expecting
I
from
cannot
them?
hear Ife. What's going on?
You still can't hear you, fair. But can you hear me though?
I can hear you, Shoops. I can hear Adola. I can hear Isima, but I can't hear Ife. I don't know why.
Okay, the
Uh-uh.
question if I
Oh,
asked you was what is the tat you're expecting for you said tit for tat, right? What is the tat you're expecting from the opposite gender, or what is actually the tat you're expecting for what you do?
Okay, okay. Basically, right? If let's say for example, we have depends on what agreement or what relationship we're having. All right. If it's a friend with benefit, if it's we're just friends, if we're just emotional support for each other, right? So really, you have to deliver on your part. Do you understand? Because you don't expect me to should I say carry certain responsibilities,
Mm,
right? Without actually giving me some form of utility in return. All right. So that utility now would be whatever we decide for it to be.
for the basis of
Do you
the friendship.
understand? For the basis of that
I
friendship,
think
right?
I think I
Because
understand where you're coming from. Sorry to cut you short, but I think I understand where
yeah,
you're
okay.
coming from, and especially because I think I saw something online one recently where someone said we need to get used to using the word acquaintances instead of friendship. A lot of people say
Yeah.
you're my friend, but really, what's in it for you? Like, are you really friends for what you're getting from the person, or there's a lot. We don't want to talk today about defining friendship, but I
Yeah.
think there's a lot more to friendship. That there's some friendships that you don't really expect anything back, and your
Yeah.
friend will always be there. So, which brings me back to the point. I think we get more. I think our acquaintances are the ones that feel more entitled to us than our friends. I would say our friends kind of, if they're really, really, really your friends, by the definition of what friendship is about, then I don't think your friend will bug you too much for to get something back for an entitlement. But I've noticed that acquaintances are the ones that like really bug you for stuff in return. Friendship, I
mm,
have friends that I call up on them if like boys, normal boys, paro. If you want to go out to the club, you can call them. Hey, I'm going out to the club. You know for sure that that friend will not pay for anything, but you just know that it's a good company. So I'll just go with him, and we always talk about it. I mean, this one doesn't pay for anything, we know, but it's still our friend, and we shall want him
mhm.
around. So
Okay.
That one,
acquaintance, me, I know I have friends like that. I think like two, but now I know if they pay God self, I will be surprised. Like, what happened today? Like,
Okay.
do you
Okay.
see
Shukwa,
me?
Okay,
Shukwa,
so
let me ask you a
guys,
quick question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Dola, you go.
yeah.
Okay, Chupo, let me
No,
ask you a
no,
quick
go
question,
ahead,
right? Let's
I wanted to
assume
talk of another angle, but go on.
you actually have a friend, not an acquaintance now, a friend,
Mm.
right? That probably gave you a link, then you probably got to, somehow somebody got into Dangote's camp through this your friend's link, right?
Mhm.
Then from there everything changed for you, right? Now, what amount of entitlement does that friend have? Is it limited over maybe a year or two, or so long as you're enjoying whatever benefits you're getting from Dangote is also entitled?
Good
What do you think?
question.
Is it limited,
That's
or
that's a good
it's just
question.
unlimited?
That's a good question, though. I'm not
Very,
gonna lie.
very
That's a good
good.
question because I'm gonna use my life as an example. Really, I've had friends.
Okay.
I remember some of the jobs that I got back in Nigeria then. It was two references. I was
Yeah.
joking and telling someone that I didn't start writing resumes until I got to America. Most of the jobs I got in Nigeria back then were just, oh, you do this. Oh, I'm going to send you to my cousin. Is that blah blah blah? I'll send it to blah blah blah, and I will get the
Yeah.
job. It's after I've gotten the job that I'll now say the HR will be like, oh, we need a resume. Oh, okay, we need a resume on
Yeah.
file. It's just for file, but sometimes when I thought about it, that okay, wait, how long? Because I'm indebted to them. Like, I mean, they got me a job that paid that I did. I've done jobs like that. I will pay me for like over a year. So do I keep repaying that favor? I mean, I can't answer
Yeah.
that question because I'm still
Okay.
thinking about it right now. That oh man, this guy, if not with this guy, I don't go get this job back then. I've gotten like two big jobs back then, back in Nigeria, like that. They were big, huge jobs back then. I was just two friends, and sometimes I just see the friend pop up online. I'm like, this guy that got me a job there, I need to do something for him. And the guy's not even asking me. Sometimes I would just be like, hey, Baba, thanks. So I remember back then.
But Shooks, I think that's different though. I think that's different because you have said, they pop into your memory. Because it's one thing if I want to do something. It's another thing if that friend is now at every you
Like
post a picture on
guy.
your WhatsApp
Eh,
status, you post on
Exactly.
Instagram, and they're like, "Hi, how far? Guy, how far?" Like every angle, they're telling
yeah,
people the story of that's
Mm-hmm.
this guy. Let me help
Mm-hmm.
him get
but
that job.
but
He has
then
forgot my
Exactly.
side.
I
That
think
is
that's
that's more of an entitlement mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
You are just being grateful. If you're looking out for someone, that's you being grateful. That's understandable. Where I feel like where it becomes an issue is when that person, regardless, okay, they helped you get the job, they helped you get the position, but now they're literally on your neck. They're standing on your neck, demanding all sorts, telling you, okay, hook me up. You need to give me a way in also, or put me on your whatever campaign, whatever job, and they're not even qualified. I mean, you got the job, but I presume you got the job because you were actually qualified, not just because of word of
yeah,
mouth. If
yeah.
you
I
got
mean,
there and you were not up to the task, I don't think you'd be able to sustain that particular role. So the issue then becomes when that person is now demanding and demanding and demanding certain things from you.
mm, I get it. I mean, it's true what you said. I got the job because I was qualified to do it, and I would say I've been lucky that I've not had friends like that will keep on bugging me for oh this guy where I help. But I think that's where I would say friends and acquaintances come in. If you're my friend, you wouldn't go around and be talking about oh this guy no do this for me. You didn't reciprocate. I would think that. But that I understand. Like from I'm just coming from Nino's point that if I get like tit for tat,
Mm.
if I get something from you, I know that I need to reciprocate and do something good for you. But if you've not done anything for me, or you barely did something for me, and you're coming at me for stuff, then shit, I don't care. I'm not even gonna. I'm not
No,
even gonna
Shupo,
move.
Shupo, my question is exactly how long is that person entitled for, right? Is it so long as you keep enjoying that
Okay,
benefit
one
or
sec.
that position,
Let's hear from
or
Isioma.
it's
Let's hear
Right.
just a
from
one-off,
Isioma. I want to hear
or it's
your
just a
views.
one-off? Okay,
For as
all
long
right,
as I can, that's what I'll say. As long as I
okay,
can.
To
Yeah.
okay,
answer
all
his
right,
question, also, even though it wasn't directed at me, I feel like
okay.
your friend is not supposed to be entitled to getting anything from you if they introduce you to Dangote and you get a good job or anything like that. Then that means the person is not your friend. Now it just seems like it's a manager and artist, um what do you call it, arrangements, because now you're going to have to be giving the friend in quotes something because they helped you out with XYZ. So it's no more a friendship if the person is constantly expecting something from you because they helped you out with getting a job or anything. I mean, friends are supposed to help each other, lift each other up. So I mean, you
Okay.
can have a friend not doing well and then you're just there looking for nothing. If I mean, that's why you're
Yeah.
their friend, to help them out when they need your help. So you shouldn't expect anything from a friend. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
also shouldn't be what's the word, ungrateful. So in that case,
Yeah.
I would probably try and do something for my friend just the one time. Maybe buy a gift or just do something that they would like, that I know they would really appreciate, just to show my
Okay.
gratitude. But after that, that's it. If you expect anything else from
Okay.
me, then yeah, sorry. You might as well come and take
Oh,
the job back from me and let me know that I would
okay.
exactly.
It's
Okay.
over. It's over his
All right.
blood, man. Like she don't care.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Right. Okay, let me come in here because I think we've spoken about like in terms of like monetary or assisting people. Another thing I see in the Nigerian space when it comes to entitlement, in terms of okay, we live in such a fast-paced society, WhatsApp messages and replies. Like people, you see it all the time on social media. Like, if you leave me on blue tick, if I send you a message and you reply 7 hours later, to me, that's someone feeling like they are entitled to your time. In terms of in the Nigerian space, honestly, I see it a lot. Like someone will say you send a message or someone messages you, you get back to them some hours later, and all of a sudden, like you're getting some kind of attitude. And these are not even acquaintances anymore. I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about grown folk, like at their big age. How do you kind of deal with those kind of situations this year? Like I know how do you kind of deal with those situations?
Um okay, personally, I do not like texting, right? Personally, I don't like it. I don't like texting. I don't like talking on the phone. Um, but
What do
when
you not like?
I don't like texting,
Texting.
what do you think what do you think I said?
You said texting and talking on the phone.
Right.
So what do you not
What?
like? So
I
you're not
don't
gonna text,
know.
you're gonna talk.
Emails,
Um,
emails,
I mean,
emails.
it's not like I hate it, but like depending on who you are, I can do it for a long time. But if I'm not really not interested in talking to you like that, then yeah, I would rather call you and then just get over the conversation rather than just texting, right? So
Okay.
personally, I don't really like texting. I have my moments when I do, and then I really text. But personally, I don't really like it. Except I really want to talk to you, and that at that point, you're probably like maybe my boyfriend. I'm dating you, and I always want to talk to you, even though I feel like yes,
Okay.
everybody needs their space and everything. But I've this. It's so funny because I've actually had an issue about this with someone before, and he blocked me on Twitter because of it. And it's so funny because we were talking on like WhatsApp, but he went and blocked me on Twitter. And anyway, so he called me like maybe around like 10 p.m. and I was doing my laundry at that time. So I told him, "Hey, I'm doing my laundry. Can I call you back later?" And he's like, "Oh, that he had a bad day and he wanted to talk." Now, me and this guy are just friends, right? I was like, he had a bad day and he just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk. I'm like, okay, no problem. I can talk. What's up? He's like, no, we can talk later. I'm like, okay, I'll call you once I'm doing my laundry. But then it was like past 12 that I got home. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah, I just want to go to bed and I'll call him tomorrow after work. So I did that.
Yeah.
I I didn't text him or call him back when I said I would, but I called him the
Mm-hmm.
next day after work, which was around like maybe 6:30, and he didn't pick up. Then maybe like an hour later he called me back. I didn't pick up because I wasn't on my phone. And then I saw the
Mm-hmm.
missed call and then I called him back, but he didn't pick up. But then he texted me like maybe after, and then he's all upset because I didn't call him when I said I would, which was the day before. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, but I called you now. So like I'm sorry that I didn't call you when I said I would, but I called you now. So what is the issue exactly. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm
But
always
he had a bad day yesterday, not today.
exactly." So then he's like, "Oh, that I'm always doing this. That I would say I would call him, but I wouldn't call him.
Ah,
Would." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry, but like I put this out there initially that hey, I'm not a big texter, I'm not a big talker. I don't. It's not my thing, but I would do it when
Mhm.
necessary." But it was just a whole thing, and he got upset for nothing. He was just literally upset that I did not call him when I said I would. And it was confusing to me at that point because things were said. Apparently he even said he called me a derogatory term on Twitter.
oh wow.
And in my mind I'm thinking, what exactly
It was really in a bad place.
you that got you so upset because I
Yeah.
didn't call you when I said I would, and I just couldn't understand it. It was I just he was expecting something from me that I just couldn't give, and I just felt he felt entitled to my time and me talking to him, and I tried to make him understand that hey, we're friends, all right? And I'm trying to be your friend. I have friends that I've not spoken to in a long time and they understand. We talk when we talk, and when we don't talk, we know that it's not because we hate each other, but we're
Yeah.
everybody has their life to live.
Mhm.
And so um a few days
Yeah.
later I went on Twitter and I saw that he blocked me because he writes a blog. He has a blog post, sorry. He writes stuff. So I wanted to go read it
Mhm.
because he'd been telling me to read it and I'd been posting. And that was when I went to get the link and I saw that I was blocked on Twitter. So I went to message him on WhatsApp, even though I was upset. I went back to WhatsApp to message him and I'm like, you blocked me on Twitter? Why? And I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. Just go. And before I even said anything, he blocked me on WhatsApp. And I'm like, okay,
Mm.
okay. I mean,
Yeah, that's on you though. You broke that friendship though.
you get
I honestly do think
it's very
but it's very common though. I feel like because of this social media age that we're all in, like I could be texting something, like I could be tweeting, and then you catch feelings that I haven't replied your message.
right,
Sometimes, like you said, you do need to be available for your friends. It's part of friendship. That's the
right,
entitlement that comes with being friends. However, also sometimes I might need to be in the right mental space to have a discussion with you. I
right,
could also have had a bad day. It doesn't mean you've had a bad day. Now are we going to have competition for who had the worst day? If
Was
I'm
was
not
the yeah.
mentally available for that conversation, yeah, if I'm not mentally available for that conversation, as my friend, I don't feel like it should cause a breakdown in our friendship. Yeah, you had a bad day, not a bad life. And even if you do have a bad life, unfortunately, I'm not the one that is doing you. So I can only come through for you the best way that
yeah,
I can. I found that a lot of so-called friends really do feel entitled to your time. There are times when at work, for example, we have an office group chat. Now you might come online and whatever you're doing might seem like like life or death situation in that moment. The fact that you're seeing me online or WhatsApp doesn't mean I'm available. I'm
True.
actually
Very
working. I'm not
very
available to chat.
very true.
Every now and
Very
again,
true.
I might be able to drop you a message like, "Oh, I'm busy." Okay, for whatever reason, you feel that you can now start policing me because unless you come into my chat, yeah, isn't that the way WhatsApp works? Unless you come into my chat, you're actually not going to see that I'm online. So I've told you I'm not available, but you're constantly checking, and then by the time I come back to you, you've caused an attitude. You're telling me, "Oh, yeah, but you were online for hours."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I
again,
think
I
I
could
feel like
get
that's
that.
another kind of
I like I
entitlement
like what you
mentality that
just
comes with
what you
friendship.
just can I say something? I like what you just brought up now about
Mm,
the being online and not available. And since we're talking about the Nigerian space and we're talking about things that affect us in Nigeria, this is a very, very, very good
mhm,
point and a big point that the fact that you're awake in
mm.
Nigeria doesn't mean I'm awake in America. Don't send me messages and expect my reply. I need to sound it loud. That's a very, very big issue. You guys in UK might not have the same issue because you're like on the same time zone. Like I remember when I just got to America and finally stayed okay, like okay, oh, I'm in America, oh. And I had friends, my real friends, my close friends, they understood, but my acquaintances, let's use that word, acquaintances didn't understand because they'll be sending you messages and it might be like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. at night. Probably after work, that's when I can even get to my phone to catch up on important messages. But they'll now see, it's online. That's why I kind of, in a way, till now, I don't use my Facebook account because of the Facebook status that shows when you're on the messenger thing or whatever, it shows that you're on. But no, I'm not there to respond to everybody's hello. I'm there to
Yeah.
respond to some quick things. So according to Nigerians, I would really like to say this. Let's all be considerate of the time difference. You cannot expect me to respond. Yeah, one thing I want to mention too is from Isiama's story, I think what I can get from it, and which most people need to understand, is we need to understand the other person's place too. What are they going through? Yeah, you're going through a bad day. What if the other person is even dying? You never know. Everybody's we think our, like you said, we think our situation is worse than the other person, and it might not be. I was telling a friend of mine when I went back to Nigeria, I was just gisting, and he was saying, you guys in America, blah blah blah. I'm like, see, you guys in Nigeria, I think you guys have it good. You're eating organic food. Yeah, all your food is from the farm. You're eating. You know what we have to deal with to get good food in America. You're saying we are living a life, yeah, but to get good food that is not going to give you cancer or some other thing, I gotta deal with that. So the same thing for messages. If you're gonna be sending me message and expect a reply, I tell my friends no that just send the message. When I get to wake up, I will reply. I don't even reply anybody's messages from 10 p.m. our time or maybe 11 p.m. our time. That's my rule. I don't reply any message because I don't want to be going back and forth just at night when I'm trying to power down.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing I think we need to talk about in Nigeria. Nigerians and time difference, or it doesn't even have to be Nigerians, Africans, and wanting to communicate with us, with other folks overseas. You need to be considerate of time difference, and also consider the other person might be going through something worse than you're going through. That's all you need to put into consideration. That's it.
Well, for what I would chip
Of
in with that is that
course.
what I'm going to chip in with that gist is that for me, right, personally, I feel at the end of the day, we still have even amidst our friends, right? Like our friends,
Oh, shoot.
Shoot.
We lost
some
her.
people that some people that any time they buzz you, you're
Wow.
just gonna respond. You
And
know,
there's some
Okay,
it
while
could
we're
be
waiting
one
for Nino to
person.
reconnect, thanks
It,
everyone
it,
for
it,
joining us. Okay, back.
yeah, he's back.
hello,
Yeah, go ahead.
hello.
Go ahead, Nino. We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically, I feel still everybody has that priority list, like two people, three people, like whatever crazy. Even if you're having the most crazy day, fine. You might not talk to them as much as you would want to, or maybe flow as much as you want to flow. But then you're still going to oblige them.
Yeah, definitely. That's true, Sha. Definitely, you will still. There's some people. I mean, like you said, tit for tat. Depends on what you gave me or what you're offering in the
Yeah,
relationship before I
Yeah,
can say I want to talk with you now. It's
yeah,
just pretty much it's standard. Even among your
yeah.
kids, if you have kids, there are some kids that you attend to now, and some like this one can handle pain.
yeah, yeah. True, true.
True. I think it's more just people understanding in terms of okay, when I get back to you, we're friends after all. I don't think there should be any additional attitude. Yeah, you might be like, now wow, since morning. I might decide to share my day with you and be like, guy, it's not even like that. So if you ever know this kind of life I've had today, as in, and it's not even ending, it's already 2 a.m. And then
Mm-hmm.
we could just carry on
Flow.
like normal, sane, sensible people
Yeah,
without any additional attitude. Even if I don't give you any sensible reason, it's like I'm here in the here and the now. Like we're friends. I shouldn't have to break down every aspect of my life because of your hello.
Mm.
Like it. Anyway. So thanks everyone for joining, for viewing. Send us your comments. Let's read them out. Let us know what your angles are, what kind of mentality, entitlement mentality you've experienced in the Nigerian space. Ask us questions so we can attend to that before the end of the show. Another angle when it comes to this whole entitlement mentality. I've been trying to tiptoe around it, but I'm just gonna go right
Mm-hmm.
in. Is this whole? I know Nino is ready. I know Nino is
She
ready.
said
Mm-hmm.
Is
it.
this whole when it comes to when it comes to genders? And
Yeah.
okay, say you're liking a girl. This is more than friendship now. You're actually liking a girl. I mean, you've had a few conversations, maybe on whatever social media platform, and then you're like, okay, come see me or let's see, whatever the scenario is. And then all of a sudden, this girl comes up with, you have to pay for my tea fare, or you're done eating and she's not even showing that she's even happy to put in 10% towards the bill. Let's not even talk about going Dutch right now. Not even like the full expectation is on, okay, you have asked me on a date, so you must foot the bill from the moment I put on my Mac, Fenty, whatever, till when I come back home. What's your take on that, Isioma, first, before I ask Nino, in terms of girls demanding outrageous things right from the get-go? Don't cry. This is a safe space, don't worry.
Um, I would say I think I've probably maybe a couple of times. I think before I came here when I was in Niger. I mean, if somebody asked me over to his house, I don't think I've ever asked for like, oh, paying for my tea fare. Maybe I've done it once or twice when I know that um I probably didn't have enough money with me at the time. So I'll probably ask, okay, are you gonna cover my tea fare for maybe coming or going, whichever one. But normally most times I don't ask because I don't really like asking people for money. Um but I mean for other people I really can't say why they do it. I think it's just become a norm, like okay, hey, he's asking me to come, so he should spend his money on me, right? So I guess maybe that's what the females are
Okay,
thinking.
but okay, let's because you've been on both sides, yeah, in terms of being in Nigeria and being in the States as well. Would you say like when you moved to the States, your mentality shifted in terms of the things you were doing back home? It was just because of the environment, like that's what we've been conditioned to
Exactly.
do, as opposed to when you move to the States. Because I would say for myself also, I mean, thank God for both, yeah, but there'll be times when I want to go see someone, and yeah, it wasn't even I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes it wasn't even the fact that I didn't have the money, it was just that mentality of which I picked up from friends, in all honesty, and not even just friends, just the cycle of females that I was around, the cycle of females that they were around. It was kind of what we knew, so to say.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
normal. It's the normal way of life until when
I
you
think.
go to another environment and you realize that actually these things are actually quite degrading. Yeah. So
Sorry,
Yeah.
do you
sorry,
feel like
sorry to,
environment also has a play?
Yes.
sorry to.
No,
Mm.
Can I say something? Sorry to cut Nino to off. I know Nino is
Sure, sure,
next,
sure.
but
Yeah, it's fine.
you guys are talking now that you ask. Don't you think you're setting yourself up for the guy too to be entitled to something else? Like,
no, I don't
okay, no
think
problem. I'll pay for your tea
no.
fare. I'll do
That
everything.
then that is a tit for tat situation. Then I feel like you should
Exactly.
probably just tell her up front, hey, okay, so if I pay for your cab, then you're gonna have sex with me, which doesn't make any sense. Because
Why
I
would
mean
you have sex for paying for cab?
for 3,000. What did you say? What did you say?
No, that's not
I
that's
just
not
wanted to
tit for
bring it
tat.
out of you though.
Nino.
Oh,
That's what he
okay,
said.
all
Yeah,
right, all right,
and I
all
feel
right,
like
all right, all right.
3,000 sex for 3,000 naira. That doesn't make any sense. Come on.
No,
Then
Yeah,
no.
it
then you
does.
would say, okay, she's cheap. But then okay, this is actually how, I'm sorry to bring this up, but this is how rape actually happens. Because
Yeah,
the guy feels entitled, oh, I paid
Mm.
for her,
yeah,
she must give me sex. And if she doesn't, then I'm gonna take it by force. I've seen tweets like that, and
Mhm.
it makes my blood boil because
yeah,
so 3,000 is what you're nah, come on. I can't even like talking about it just
Yeah.
even sets me. But anyway,
yeah.
like back to the whole what we're talking about. If I feel like the guy then should be upfront. If you want to pay for her cab, then maybe tell her, okay, if I pay for your cab, you're going to have sex with me. And then the girl has to decide, okay, yes, I'm coming. No, I'm not coming. Then she would have it at the back of her mind that, okay, he wants sex from me and I'm going to probably have to have sex with him. And if she doesn't want to, then she doesn't have to go. I just feel like nobody's forcing you or anything. So she has the choice to also not go. But I don't think it makes sense to ask for sex for cab fare. Or when people say shawarma, and I don't understand how that works. How you can shawarma with sex. I don't understand it, but
Shaman ice cream.
right. But back to the other aspect, I feel like it's definitely different here. I mean, when I came, I didn't have a car, so going to work, I always had to take the bus or an Uber. And I didn't have a lot of friends, so I didn't need to go to anybody's house. But I had just one friend at the time who always used to come pick me up from my house and then take me out. So I feel like if a friend can do that for me, then if you're trying to date me and you cannot do that, or you expect something from me just for you to pay for my cab, then you can go. My friend lives in Laurel, which is 1 hour away from me on the highway. Hour.
Okay.
So if my friend can drive 1 hour, come to pick me up, take me back to his side, because that's where we usually go out, drive another hour back to his side, then drive back to drop me off, and then drive back, and that's 4 hours on the road. So if a friend can do that for me, then you can find your level if you're not willing to pay for my cab
Yeah.
and you're expecting something in return. But I mean, it's definitely different here. Also paying for going out to pay for food. I'm of the opinion that if you ask me out on a date, you're the one paying. If you ask me out, you're the one paying. If I ask you out, I'll pay. And I've done it before. It's not a big deal. I've paid for dates before. But if you ask me out, you're paying. I'm not splitting anything with you. I'm sorry. You're paying for everything. Except maybe you say, oh, hey, I'm short on.
So do you feel like that's an entitlement, or those are just your standards?
It's
Like,
not.
do you feel like that's you feeling entitled, or that's just where your bar is?
It's
Like the
just.
bar is
I
up
don't.
there
I
for
don't
you.
think it's me being entitled. It's a standard. It's not an. I don't think it's an entitlement.
Nino, what do you have to say, man?
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You know,
Nino
yeah.
hasn't said anything.
Okay. Okay. Am I supposed to respond to her, or I'm just supposed to talk?
In
Just
No,
talk
not
to
even
her.
response, but just from your. So obviously, I can only speak from the female perspective because that's what I know. How about in terms
Okay.
of, okay, you've asked a girl to come on a date with you or whatever, you've asked her out, or there's a girl that you're really into and you want to hang out, and now she's turned up, and you actually don't mind pay, you don't mind paying for that date. It's all good, but then you just catch a vibe, like she's expecting you to pay. Like you just catch a vibe. How would you deal? Like what goes through your? Do you feel like that's an entitlement, or do you then feel like, okay, because I've paid for her to eat, I can now say, okay, well, I want to go clubbing and you have to come clubbing with me, or does that give you like a right to her body, if you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. No. The thing is that um first of all, right? It's if I'm inviting you over for a date, for a movie, for whatever, right? I'm talking for myself now, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
if you're not driving, or if I'm not gonna come pick you up, I do not expect you to fly and come, right? Now it depends on the kind of girls that you talk to, right? If I'm inviting
Mm-hmm.
someone in university for a date, for a movie,
So what do
I
you
ex-
rest?
I expect that I'm going to pay for everything on that day, including transport. Do you understand?
Mm.
But if I now invite someone that I know definitely she's working, she has a good job, right? And then she's asking me, okay, money for cab, then that's going to be a turn off for me personally,
Wait, what?
right? Because yeah, because I expect some certain
What's it
standards
that
from you.
you watch
You
happen?
can't
Okay.
you can't be working and you can't even transport yourself to the date. What are we doing? This is
What?
supposed to be
But you
this
don't know
this is
my
a,
response. But
this is
you don't know
this
my
is
responsibilities. You
this,
don't know
this,
my
this is no.
responsibilities.
This is supposed to be
But you don't know
okay.
my
Okay.
responsibilities. You
Okay.
you can't be
Let
watching my
let's
pocket.
just say let's just say basically
Thank you.
there's even no point. being with somebody that can't pay for our own fucking transport in the first place.
Oh, come on.
Bam.
So you
So
want
you're telling me. So you're telling me. No, no. But the thing is, yeah, we like. I guess we're all adults. We have our hard times. Like this your said, at the time when she got to America, she wasn't driving.
Okay,
She
okay,
wasn't
okay,
doing
okay.
anything.
Now,
We all go through rough
now,
stuff.
now,
Like right
that's
now, no, Nina, let me tell you, right now with the
all
current
right.
pandemic, I'm at
Yeah.
that point where even if we were allowed to go out, the amount of expenses, the amount of bills that I have,
Mm-hmm.
by any standard, I wouldn't consider myself broke. But right
Okay,
now, there are
okay,
certain things that I cannot afford,
okay. Now
and that's just that.
let me okay. Now let me address her real quick, right? If for any
Mm.
reason she's having a hard time, right? Okay. This for so reason. I'm not gonna be. You're gonna have to like run my translation on for me. Everything is all about communication, really. Tell me how it is. From the get go. If it's okay with me, I'll go through with it. If it's not okay with me, then there's no point going forward, all right?
you
But
just said
what me I want to bring home is we have started that relationship. Not I'm inviting you for dates now. We have started the relationship, right? See, I was in Nigeria for a long time. I saw girls tall, yellow, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. See,
Who told you to? Who told you to be
the
testing from
truth.
every port? Who told
Hello,
you?
wait. The truth is that, right? A lot. See, I'm not even gonna lie. I keep telling people. I said the only set of girls in Nigeria that do not have that idea of feeling entitled are only two. There are only two. It's either ones that have stayed abroad all their lives,
Mm-hmm.
or the ones that probably they just they go out often. They travel very often. So they
travel.
meet different set. So yeah, they go like they travel very often. They travel out of the country very often. All right. So they meet different people. They mix with different cultures. They see how people relate with each other. But for a typical Nigerian girl, babe, I can tell you that so long as once she says yes,
You are
bro, you
responsible
have
for
turned
her.
you have turned to her father. Like I mean every single thing is
Oh
she
man.
wants she needs transport for somewhere. You're the one. Her hair, she needs to change her hair. It's you. Food stuff is finished. It's you. Her house rent is almost due. You have to chip
I don't
in.
know what kind of Nigerian girls
Just
we're hanging out with.
see, wait,
He has
listen,
a point
listen.
though. He has a
See,
point
no,
though.
no, listen. It's about see. You might see. You might say you don't become Nigerian girls, but see, me, I'll tell you this for free, right?
For free.
I'll tell you for free. Nigeria is so tough right now that even your big girls need help.
Everybody needs help at some point. Yes.
Exactly, right? So that's what I'm saying. That so now some of these girls they'll shop around. They'll shop around for a big boy in code, right? Why? Just so he can take a lot of responsibilities from them. So the moment I don't know why. Okay, you have some money as a guy. You have some money. You start dating somebody. All of a sudden, just because she's a girlfriend, she's entitled to your money. Why?
Mm.
That's something she knows. She knows. Okay, she knows definitely this guy can. She knows she can. This guy can afford it, right? But for some reason, maybe you have a lot of things to take care of. All right, you have so much to take care of, and then she's asking for something that she knows you can afford, right? But for some reason, maybe
Yeah,
you have a
but
mortgage. Maybe you
okay,
have maybe you
okay,
have
okay.
a maybe you have a maybe you have a mortgage. Maybe you have a mortgage. You're paying. You have this land that you want to balance the money for. But at that particular point in time, you can't give her that 400K for the iPhone, or you can't buy her that MacBook Pro. But just because she knows you
Mm.
have it, then she's going to fucking stress you for it every fucking day of your life. Why?
Yeah, but okay, fine. I'm not trying to
She's
say
your
this is like an
girlfriend.
equal comparison. I'm not trying to do this an equal comparison, but I'm going to speak from the Nigerian girl's perspective as well. In terms of the moment you say yes to a guy, also all of a sudden a guy that has been a bachelor, that has lived alone, that is used to going to the market, or either send someone to go to the market. All of a sudden, this girl must, on her way coming, she must branch market. She must come and cook. She must clean. There are those kind of guys also. I'm not saying it's an equal comparison, but I'm just saying Nigerian men also have their own headspace where, okay,
Exactly.
this is what this is my entitlement. All of a sudden it's babe, come. And before you know it, every visit to your so-called boyfriend is a clean cook and visit, you know. So just because you're now in a relationship.
Okay. First of all, right, let's get this thing straight though. So, like I said, I can't buy you 400,000. I can't buy you 400,000 naira iPhone, and I don't, and you're not gonna cook and clean.
Ah,
No,
I knew where it was going
I'm
to.
no,
I knew it.
no, I'm being very straight with you, right? See, no, so we are saying, see, that's what I'm saying to you
the
people.
same way
It's
you're
no,
saying
Let me
Nigerian
talk.
space,
Please let me
there's
talk.
the
No, what I'm
sea,
saying is,
there's the
listen. What I'm saying
Nigerian
is,
guys.
what I'm saying is,
She must
listen.
wash
What
my
I'm saying is, no, listen. You see, I'm not saying she should wash my clothes. There's washing machine, there is dishwasher, right? It
Yes,
makes this job
there are
easy.
people that cook. They
I'm
can cook.
saying, no, listen. Agreed, right? So now, this is a girl that can ask her dad for 100,000 naira iPhone.
Let's not do that.
Do you understand? No, we're gonna do it. That because that's
Honestly, I was gonna no, I was gonna say let's not do that
we're gonna
Let's
because
do. No,
not
we're
do
gonna do
no,
it.
let's not do that. No,
We're
let's
gonna
not do that.
we're
so
gonna no.
because
See, listen. Let's face it now. Some of these girls can't open their mouth and ask their dad for some of these things. They will ask their boyfriend. It's the truth. Why can't you say
Yeah,
it?
but the same way some of these guys can't open their mouth and tell their mothers to enter the kitchen and cook for them now.
exactly.
So that's why I said
No,
let's not do that
wait.
because there are
See,
things that you request from
my
your
mom. See,
girlfriend
my
that you
mom.
can't request from your mother. Fact.
E.g. Aside from sex, what else?
Coming.
Aside
So
from sex, I can't
if
do
you're
for my
at
mother.
home,
What else?
you where your mom is sitting down, you can tell her, yeah, enter kitchen and
Enter
cook for
kitchen
me
and cook for
in
me.
that exact tone.
See,
In that
that
exact tone.
I'm not
it's not going to
That's
be
why I
that
said
exact.
let's not do this.
away and
Of
cook
course, it's
for
not
me.
going to be that exact tone. But what I'm saying, you guys are missing it. What I'm
Exactly,
saying, what I'm saying
exactly.
to
It's
you,
the
listen.
same
What I'm
thing.
saying is, wait, listen. What I'm saying is, a girl that feels entitled, that I'm supposed to buy her a 400,000 naira phone. I'm supposed to buy her and it's almost a million naira MacBook. We now not know that by default she's supposed to cook and clean. Is that what you're saying?
No, no, no. It's
Can I say something?
no,
Can I
no,
say
no. Like
Okay,
something?
so
there's a difference between by default. There's a
Can I
difference
say
between
something?
by default and by you seeing.
okay, listen
Okay,
now,
guys.
what
Okay,
utility I'm actually getting
okay, guys.
from
Can I say something?
from
Yeah.
from
You,
this
you, you
girl.
might as well get a living maid now. You might as well get
uh,
a living maid,
all right,
and
guys.
then you know that
She might as well get a
it's
sugar daddy
done.
as well. She might as well get a sugar daddy as well. So
Okay, okay.
it's not
Dino,
what
can
are
I
you
say
saying?
something? Can I say something?
I'm gonna let
Shoot.
Shoots come in. I'm gonna let Shoots come in because of
Can I
time.
say something? We're running out of time real quick, but I want to really get into the comments. And I
Yeah,
saw
real quick.
something in comments
All right.
from Ayodeji Ibrahim that I really, 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 really think we should. That's just the basis of this. The question was, it's thrown to Isioma and Adiola, and we're going to round up with this. I guess we'll
Hmm.
let
Okay.
them. We'll let Isioma and Adiola answer the
Okay.
question, and then we would all give our final thoughts. Question was: at what point does standard
Okay.
blend into entitlement? Like, we need to know what's the line, standards and entitlement. And like he said, I want my woman to cook for me and be homely. Is that an allowable standard, or is this an entitlement? What do you guys think?
Okay. So to answer that question, in all honesty, I always say this. Like if I is already shaking his head because he knows what's coming. I always say this. I'm not a strong believer in one size fits all. That's never me when it comes to relationship. But since we're having a
A strong believer in
general
what?
conversation, I'll just throw it out. I'm not a strong believer in one size fits all. Like just because this is the way I believe
Okay.
something should be done, that is not me saying that is the standard that I hold everybody to. Like, do you? That's fine. So while I've gotten my caveat emptor out of the way, when it
Yeah.
comes to standards and entitlement, I think I touched on it briefly last week. That for me, it's all about communication, about not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. The same way I asked, that when it comes to asking your mom to go to the kitchen to cook for you, you wouldn't necessarily say to her, you've been at home since morning, why haven't you cooked? Say, for an example, you're in a relationship and you've gone out to work and you get back, and for whatever reason, your girlfriend who you have bought this 400,000 naira iPhone and 1 million MacBook for has decided that for whatever reason she's not going to cook. Now it becomes an entitlement when you get back and you start throwing tantrums and start just going out of your mind just because she hasn't cooked. That becomes an entitlement to me
Mm-hmm.
personally. Where
So are you saying
if you would, if the same
are you saying
tone,
I'm not? Are you saying
Nino, repeat your question because you went blank.
okay? I said, are you saying the guy
communication,
is not?
what how you're
Are you saying
stated.
the guy is not entitled to that? Did you get me?
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I said, are you saying the guy is not entitled to that? It's just supposed to be a privilege that he's not entitled to that.
No, remember in the beginning, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
said that entitlement is the belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges and special treatment.
Okay.
Now, what I always say when it comes to relationship is like I might do something that doesn't necessarily mean it is your right, it's not your entitlement, it's not my obligation. If I decide to do it, yes or no. The same way, if you decide to buy me an iPhone, whether you've given in to my nagging, whether you've given in to everything, I was never entitled to have that. You've decided to give it to me. You've decided to gift it to me, and now you're expecting that what I should do my in labor to earn back the 400,000. What? So in terms of answering the question, before I digress too much, I feel like where I feel like it's a very thin line between standards and entitlement. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like when it starts becoming an entitlement is when it doesn't matter whether your girl has had a bad day, it doesn't matter whether your boyfriend is broke at the moment, you want that thing now, and the only reason you're demanding it is because you're just doing tit for tat. There will be times when you're even as a married man, there will be times when your woman is either unavailable to cook for you, unable to cook for you. What
True.
happens when your girlfriend is ill in hospital? You've been living on all this time, like you said, but all of a sudden, because you have a girlfriend now, all of a sudden you don't know the way to the market. And it's not as if you're even being like, babe, or this weekend, or I really fancy eating jollof rice and fried rice. Now that's you throwing out a request. If you're like, babe, this weekend you must cook jollof rice, that becomes an entitlement, all because you bought her an iPhone. So that just answer Ayodeji's question from my perspective. I feel like where it crosses over from an standard to an entitlement is when
Yeah.
you just really don't give a damn. Like your communication is all off, and the only reason you're talking to anyone in that way or manner is simply because
Okay.
you've done something for them before. So what if you haven't bought? What if you haven't actually bought anything for your girlfriend? Are you then trying to say that if she's cooking for you, cleaning for you, and all of that, that now you actually owe her something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how I feel. Yes. That's how I feel. No, no,
Isoma,
no.
Isoma,
I'm gonna tell
let's
you the
step
truth.
up.
No, I'm gonna see.
Isoma,
Let me
let's.
just. I don't see. I do not for once. I do not for once believe a relationship without responsibilities. I'm going to be very honest with you. I do not for
No,
once.
of course, relationships will always come with responsibilities,
See
but
because
it will never
I
be
just use
equal. It will never be equal.
agreed.
That's a
And
fact.
actually, I just use an iPhone as an example. It's not like it's a typical thing, right?
Hmm.
But what I'm saying is the whole
Yeah,
idea,
but it's
the,
typical.
the whole idea of why it's called a relationship is that there is something you're getting from me. There's something I'm also supposed to be getting back.
Why
Do you
does it have
understand?
to be?
Which is so. What's the point? Go and be with
Hold
your
on.
brother.
Why does it
Why
have
is a
to
relationship? What are
be
you saying?
either cooking or cleaning, or why can't it be mentally? What if she's helping you out mentally with your business to help you grow? That is giving back in the
Why
relationship. It doesn't have to be
why
what.
why
So are you saying you can't marry,
why
are you saying you can't
if
marry a babe that can't cook?
if I see, don't dwell on the cooking, right? The
No,
cooking
I'm not. I'm just
is
giving. I'm asking.
I can marry a baby that cannot cook. We can always get a chef. That's no problem.
Okay.
Do you understand? But what I'm saying is what I'm saying in essence is that for for one, I'm talking personally, right? For one, personally, I would I'm a bachelor, right? I have a bachelor pad. And if I'm in a relationship, for example, I would expect to come home and actually feel that okay, there is a woman in the house. Do you understand? I'm not going to feel that intellectually. Are you going to telepath and intellectually make me feel like there's a woman in the house? No.
No, when I said intellectually, I meant like in other aspects, like your business.
I understand what you're saying. That's why I say eventually You're not going to marry a girl with big bum bum. You marry someone that connects with you mentally, and you guys can also, can always relate. Of course, a big bum bum is a plus, no doubt, right? But if she has a big bum bum, and and she has sense, so even makes
And
it all
Who the
sense.
ass
interesting,
guy is now?
right?
Because you only mentioned Big Bum Bum.
So the truth is that at the end of the day, we're all entitled. We all feel entitled to somebody, one way or another. It's just that some are very much outrageous, honestly. Especially from girls, from guys. All right, some are very outrageous, and you actually find that at the end of the day, some of these girls, you go out of the way for them. You stress yourself. Eventually, they're still going to do some stupid shit. Same thing for guys. So some girls would kill themselves over a guy, do A, B, C, D for the guy, and eventually it's gonna run off, right? But like I said, well, it will still bring me back to what I said initially. Like, eventually, you just have to reciprocate whatever energy you're getting. How useful that person has been to you, how much they contribute to your life. You know, the utility you get is, I think, is the same thing you should give back, or what you give out is what you should expect to return. So that's that. I think that's how I'm gonna put it. If I don't buy,
Okay,
if
perfect.
if
All
I if I
right.
if
All
I don't
right. Thanks for
invest
letting me
in my
know.
woman, then it's just tricky.
Okay. I think
Okay.
I'll
Just because we're really pressed for time right now, I'm just gonna ask for some closing thoughts from Shub, and then I guess
Ife.
time will be up. So Shub, if you just give us your closing thoughts just in a couple of minutes.
I'll definitely. I'll share. Ishama, do you have something to say, real quick? And I'll just
Oh no, I was just gonna answer the question that you threw out from Ayodeji. I think
yeah, real
I was
quick.
pretty much gonna say what DLS said. Uh,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, I was gonna use that as my closing anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say basically what you said. I agree with everything you said. Um,
Okay, cool,
yeah, it's not. Wait, what was the question? At what
cool,
point
cool,
the
cool.
standards went into entitlement? I mean, a woman cooking for you isn't in any way you being entitled to her, or is it the other way around? Yeah, you being entitled to her. If she doesn't want to cook, then she doesn't want to cook. You're not going to force her to cook for you. If that causes a strain in your relationship, then maybe you're the one that has the problem. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Dela said, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Good discussion. I would round up with this. I'll say to just buttress the point of ideology, like standards and entitlement. I think um, every relationship needs to have standards. And personally, we have our standards. We have what we need in a woman or what we need in a man. And it doesn't become an entitlement when it is, I mean, come on, like what are we raising? We're raising, okay, the next generation from our discussion. We're trying to correct some notion that is wrong. Like personally, myself, I think I don't. I would say for myself, I know what I need to do for a lady, and I know what I'm teaching my son to do for a lady. But
Yeah,
I
true.
would not. I would not. Well, thank God for the most ladies I've ever dated till I got married. None has ever asked me for a transport or me personally. You can't even cook for me. You cook for me is like, okay, oh, that's a plus because I don't really eat much. So cooking is not, but there are standards. There are some things that you shouldn't even be asked to do it, before you do it in a relationship. Like he said something, I saw questions from Whitney saying, what does that even mean? Feel like there's a woman in the house. Exactly. That statement is correct. We need to feel like you can tell if a man has a woman in his life. I don't know how you ladies feel it, but you can tell if a man has a woman in his life. So just the same thing with the house. If there's a woman in the house, if you walk in, you can tell. Even if it's not by cooking, it's not
Why is
by
this? Why is this one squeezing out? Why is this one squeezing out? Adela, why is squeezing out?
No, I'm not. No, it's not. What he's saying. No, no, no.
I'm paying
Oh, okay.
attention. I'm paying attention. That's all.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what I was saying. I was just
it is you can tell if there's a woman in a relationship, there's a woman
Mm-hmm.
around you helping you out or you if a man is in a relationship. We all know our standards. We need to know what we have to do and do what we have to do. I just lost my train of thought. There was something I was gonna say. Yeah, and above all, don't ask for anything outrageous. I would personally, I would lose my respect for a woman that asks for stuff. Like I feel like you asking, no, it depends on what you're asking though. You asking is kind of like making you're making demands on me. I should know that a man, I want to date you, right? I should know that I should take care of you. You don't even, I don't even, if I take a girl on a date, I'm paying. You don't even bring out your card. If you bring out your card, it's like a slap on my face. And I wouldn't take you out on a date if I can't afford to pay for both of us. And that's what I tell most guys
That's
too.
true.
Don't take a woman out if you can't afford a relationship. Don't even start a relationship if you can't afford to maintain the relationship or buy her gifts. But the fact that you buy
Yeah.
a gift or take her out doesn't mean that you need to demand something else back in return. If she does it, it's good. If she doesn't do it, you know that okay, this is the type of woman she is. I'm not gonna continue with her. And you can leave her and move to another lady. There are a lot of ladies out there that are willing to take care of a man and do everything you need to a man needs. Same thing. There are a lot of guys there that are willing to take care of a woman and give a woman everything she needs. But at the same time, too, ladies need to be careful because some men, and I've heard stories, I have no stories of men that believe that all I just need to do is provide for you financially. As long as I can provide for you financially, you don't have a right to ask me any other thing. You don't have a right to question where I'm going to, which is another pretty big problem in our education and
Yeah.
orientation from way back then. Like growing up, a lot of people just believe, oh, the man just provides, and the woman doesn't have a right to question anything. So ladies gotta be careful too. Don't just tell a guy to pay for your cab, pay for dinner, and then I mean it's too deep for us to discuss this. There's no time. I'm just gonna round off. Please don't ask for anything outrageous. No one is entitled to anything.
someone said
Wow.
You can
just
do.
Okay, yeah, so someone said outrageous is perspective though. That's from Chaleri. It says
Very,
outrageous
very,
is
very,
perspective though.
very, very true.
Really,
Give
really,
yourself
we're really
pretty
pressed
much just
for
give
time.
yourself
I
brain.
think we
What
should wrap it.
like pretty much what Nino said is real. But what you can't ask your brother or your father to do for you. How can you tell a man to buy you an iPhone that's costing over 400,000? It
Well,
depends.
again,
Like,
everything is perspective. No, everything is perspective. And remember, Nino said, "How can he have a woman in his life?" And you also said it, and you wouldn't feel the presence of that woman. You know that woman is around. At the same time, if we're going to go by stereotypical gender assignment roles, I could also say the same thing that if I'm in a relationship, if I'm dating, especially if I'm dating to marry, how can I be with someone who is potentially not going to be able to provide my needs? Because once you become my husband, you do become my
the
dad.
iPhone is
And
need or a
yeah,
want.
but I know we're not gonna
Now,
no, we're not gonna
now,
touch
The
on
now,
that.
iPhone is need or a
No.
see
want.
now, Adola. Now, my problem is not whether you need the iPhone or how much it's going to cost. All right. My problem is if I'm going to be that much responsible for you. All
That's a
right.
lot of
You,
responsibility.
you, you
Mhm.
can't you can't tell me I'm feeling entitled by asking you to cook. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like
No,
you can't
I understand what you're saying,
just like
Funny, but
so. What,
honestly,
what, what I'm saying what I'm saying is what I'm saying
we're
is
really, really
no, what
pressed
I'm
for
saying is
time.
I also need to be getting some form of utility from you. It doesn't have to you don't have to give me the money back. Yeah, you don't have to give me the money back, but there must be something that you just naturally know you're supposed to do. I don't like personally I don't like to eat out, right? I don't like to eat out. So if I have a girlfriend and she's gonna
Hmm.
cook, we're gonna have a problem.
you
Right?
also
She doesn't have to. She
also
doesn't. She
not
doesn't have to. No,
also
it's
not
true. She
eat
doesn't. She
food
doesn't. She doesn't have to.
that
She doesn't
stays
have to
in the
cook every day,
fridge.
right? She doesn't have to cook every day, right? Like cook, cook, cook,
Mm.
cook, cook, cook at the weekend. Store it in the fridge.
Oh,
Whenever I'm
okay.
hungry, I'll go there. I'll go there. I'll go there and pick
Me,
it
I
up.
don't
All
like
right.
fridge food too, but
You like fresh food.
I like my food fresh.
Also,
One day, I don't like free food, but anytime you now cook now, you'll be confused. You don't like free food, but when the woman is not around, you know as you drop am. But like
also,
I said,
I
guys,
don't like free food,
really,
but
actually, we do,
so I like
we keep going back and forth on this. We're really not going to
Yes,
wrap up
we will.
today,
true.
and
Wait,
like
before you go,
we're really
can I ask you something before we go? What do
yeah,
you
true,
what do you mean by
yeah.
utility?
Utility.
Because someone
You-
actually
you-
asked that. I also want to know, what do you mean by utility?
that's
I mean,
that's simply a kind of how do I put it? A satisfaction you get from using the product.
this-
So now you
So
okay.
now
Like
she's
I said, if we keep going back and forth on this, it's going to
Yeah,
open up more angles,
you know
and
what
we
if
could
you
you know
be
buy,
here
if you buy,
forever.
I
if you,
don't
if
mean to
you,
be,
if,
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you know what you are, or what you how you sound like a typical
how does that
Nigerian.
sound?
So you and the Nigerian girls
Am
actually
I,
Like
am
a
I,
typical
am I,
Yoruba
am I, am I,
demon.
am I not, am I not a Nigerian man?
yeah, but I said a
So
typical
how am I supposed, how am I
Nigerian.
supposed, how am I supposed to sound?
oh man,
See,
that's
You
how
know,
big
that's
you are.
when
another thing. One more thing that is stressing a lot of relationships is that you're dating a Nigerian man, you're expecting to be reacting to you like a white man. It's not going to work. It's
But
true. It's the truth. It's
don't
the
worry,
truth.
just
It's the
move
truth. It's not going to work. And by customarily, traditionally, Africa has always been a place where roles are very well defined. And if people would only stick to those roles, then maybe there won't be so much problem really if we're going to look at it. Okay,
Well, again, like I
I'm
said,
done.
if we stay on this topic, we can bounce back and forth for ages,
on.
because
Oh
I could equally come back to you. Like if we're being traditional, if I'm being a traditional Nigerian woman where the man is the sole provider, then whether it's an iPhone, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, you should be able to provide it for me as
thank you
my
Yes.
man.
for being
Whether
traditional.
See,
and,
I be
and not
like
tell me that my demands are outrageous, and not tell me that my demands are outrageous.
you keep not understanding me. The demand is not the problem.
No,
All
trust me,
right.
I
But I'm
understand
saying
you fully. I
but I'm saying
understand you
with
fully.
that demand, right? That house you want and that car also comes your own responsibilities as well. And you cannot say I am now entitled, or you cannot say I'm feeling
So wait,
entitled
now the question is,
to
what
those
are those
responsibilities in court.
responsibilities you're referring to?
Now
Okay,
that varies from
cleaning.
man to man. That varies, like I said,
No,
that
we're
varies
talking
from man
about
to man.
you. We're talking about you. You're the one.
Okay, true. Okay, now true, relax. I go out, I hustle all day, all night. I come back, I make that money to buy you that car and that
Okay,
house.
guys, guys,
I'm still
guys.
supposed to come back.
Honestly,
I'm still supposed to come back and come and
okay,
clean that
no,
house. Is that what you're
Nino for
saying?
real, Nino for real.
Oh man.
Nino, it's your map, please, please, please. It's really a
Oh,
pleasure. Like, we can speak on this topic till I think till midnight, but we all have to get back to our respective lives.
D-
And to all our
Next time.
viewers, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm not gonna promise that we're gonna come back to the part three of this, because I
nah,
feel like this is a
we're
never-ending
done.
episode. But maybe further down the line in the future, we may revisit this topic.
No, we're
We
done with
may. So, like I said, turn on your notification, subscribe so you don't miss our episodes. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook, the Nigerian Space, Twitter, Nigerian Space, and we'll leave it in the comment section just so I don't mislead you. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thank you so much for joining in. Thanks, Nino. Thanks, Isioma. Thanks,
Thank
Ife.
you.
Thanks, Joe.
All right,
And for all
guys.
of
Thank you
us
so
at
much.
the Nigerian Space, have a lovely week ahead.
All right
Thank
Thank
then.
you guys.
All right, guys.
See
Bye.
Thank
ya.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye.